Set a scene, a really chilling one. March 27, 1977, Los Rios Airport, Canary Islands. You have two massive Boeing 747s, the jumbo jets KLM Flight 4805, and a Pan Am plane, somehow ending up on the same runway. What unfolded wasn't just an accident. It became, and still is, the deadliest crash in aviation history. 583 lives lost. It's a date that absolutely changed air safety forever. So today we're going to dig into your sources on this. We really want to unpack the whole chain of events, how this catastrophe happened. We'll look at some surprising details and, crucially, the big lessons learned about communication, about safety, lessons that honestly affect every single flight taken today. Let's get into what your materials show us about those moments. Where should we start?
Well, what jumps out immediately from the sources is how neither of these huge jets was even meant to be at Los Rios that day. Both the KLM flight and the Pan Am jet, they were diverted. Their original destination, Gran Canaria Airport, was closed because of a terrorist bombing incident. So suddenly you have Los Rios, a much smaller regional airport, completely swamped. It got jammed with these large aircraft, creating huge pressure, big delays.
Okay, so a small airport suddenly packed with giants and pressure building. Your sources point out that the KLM crew, especially the captain, Belthazen Van Zanten, a very experienced pilot, he decided to refuel there. He was apparently quite keen to make up lost time, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get back on schedule. A detail that feels ominous now. And the Pan Am jet, they were just trying to navigate these packed taxiways, basically waiting their turn.
Exactly. And that decision to refuel, while understandable for scheduling, it added more complexity. But then you have to layer something else on top of this congestion and pressure. Fog. Thick fog rolled in. Visibility just plummeted. I mean, it became incredibly poor. It really set the perfect stage for, well, miscommunication.
Right, the fog. And this is where, according to your materials, a critical error happens. The KLM captain starts his takeoff roll. He seems to have genuinely believed he was cleared for takeoff. But what was the Pan Am jet actually doing? Where was it? And the instructions from the tower, were they clear?
That's the core of the tragedy. The Pan Am jet was absolutely still on that same runway. They were taxiing, trying to find their assigned exit, and the radio transmissions, they were ambiguous. That's putting it mildly. Worse still, some crucial transmissions were sticked on, basically. Two people talking at once, canceling each other out, so neither message got through clearly. The KLM captain likely heard fragments, maybe combined it with wishful thinking, confirmation bias under pressure. He thought he had the green light, and he went.
It's terrifying. A few garbled words, maybe not even fully heard, combined with that fog, leading to this scale of disaster. So in that dense fog, the KLM jet is accelerating, tries to lift off.
But it's too late. It strikes the Pan Am 747 still on the runway. The impact, the explosion, the fire, just devastating.
And the loss of life was immense.
Staggering. Everyone on the KLM flight, all 248 people were killed. On the Pan Am flight, 335 passengers and crew died. Remarkably, though, 61 people did survive, mostly from the front section. But this wasn't just, a terrible accident report filed away. It became a crucible. It forced major changes in aviation.
A crucible. That's a good way to put it. So Tenerife led directly to fundamental changes we rely on now, like how air traffic control talks to pilots.
Absolutely. Communication standards were completely overhauled. No more vague phrases. Pilots couldn't just say, okay, we're rolling, or we're at takeoff. Controllers must now use the explicit phrase, cleared for takeoff, and pilots must read it back verbatim. Roger, cleared for takeoff. It removes ambiguity.
Okay, that makes sense. Standardized language. What else?
A huge one was the push for crew resource management, or CRM. This was a massive shift in thinking. It's all about using everyone and everything available, the whole crew, the data, the instruments to make the safest decisions. It flattened the old cockpit hierarchy. First officers, even junior crew members, were empowered, actually trained, to speak up, to challenge the captain if they saw a risk. It moved away from the captain as God model to collective responsibility. That was revolutionary for pilot culture and training.
So empowering the whole team, not just relying on the captain. And technology, did that play part in the changes?
Yes, definitely. The disaster highlighted how inadequate ground radar systems were, especially in low visibility. There was a big push afterwards to improve ground surveillance at airports, so controllers could actually see where aircraft were on the runways and taxiways, even in fog. It just starkly showed how even top professionals, people with thousands of hours of experience, could fall victim to fatal misunderstandings under the wrong conditions.
The sheer weight of miscommunication laid bare.
Precisely. It forced the entire industry to confront just how catastrophic a simple misunderstanding could be.
So Tenerife really stands as this watershed moment, a stark reminder about clarity in aviation. And As you think about this, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, about the lessons beyond the runway. If miscommunication can cause such devastation between highly trained professionals in that high-stakes environment, what does that tell us, for our everyday lives? About the power, the absolute necessity of being clear, unambiguous in how we talk and how we listen. It's a powerful thought, isn't it? That just a bit more precision in communication, really listening, can make such a profound difference, whatever we're doing.